Hey everybody, welcome back to the chaotic little book corner. Let's do our advent. Today is the 9th of December. This one is Annunciation to the Shepherds. And it's just, it's pastel-y and pretty. Very Canterbury Tale-esque prettiness. Alright, today is going to be another review. Six of Crows duology by Leigh Bardugo. Okay. I could tell you the plot. I could. And I will briefly, but in all truth and honesty, the plot didn't do anything for me. And I'm going to tell you why I'm talking about it, even though the plot did nothing for me. First, Leigh Bardugo is an amazing human. I feel very strongly that Leigh Bardugo is a role model, a strong woman, a intelligent person, and a very, very brave soul. She has diversity in this book. She has mental health in this book. She has trauma in this book. She has excitement and fantasy and all those things. She has all that, all the elements that a lot of YA readers really enjoy. This is a great YA book. But I didn't read it because it was a great YA book. Because it addressed so many more deep-seated experiences. So in the first book, there's a gang that is requested to go find something and steal it, and it becomes a heist novel. The second novel is more of a destiny sort of novel. They're both very simple stories as far as the idea of what they are is. So they are both very simple plots that take place in the Grisha world, which if you've read the Grisha trilogy, you know. If you haven't read the Grisha trilogy, it's a magic system that revolves around these almost magical magician-like type people that live in a Russian sort of society. This takes place in a Russian type of world that's steampunk. I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it for the story. It was cute. It was really what I needed in the moment. It worked for what I read it for, which was an escape from the aftermath of the election, and for me to have when I ended up. And then the second one, Crooked Kingdoms, went with me to the hospital when I had a response to a medication. So, it did everything. But, this duology, this collection, addresses the diversity of gender, the experience of sex trade, the recovery of sexual abuse, the experience of depression and of despair and the monster within, and the idea of community. It discusses a more curvy sort of plus-size character. It discusses a more in-depth meaning for those who are afraid of being themselves and being able to function in a society that may not cater to them. It discusses addiction and drugs. It discusses trauma and recovery. It touches on all of the things that I really appreciate in a good book. And even though it's a YA, even though it is young adult, and I don't usually reach for young adult, and I usually don't reach for fantasy, the themes and the ideas and the basis of this book is all around a good, solid, heartfelt, meaningful, and inclusive story. And that is why I just wanted to mention it today. I'm not going to go any further into detail. There are so many reviews out there for this series that I don't want to be white noise. And I don't want to just ramble on about how incredible it is, because as far as being a piece of literature, I can't say it's the best thing I've ever read. But as far as being a book that I would hand to a younger sibling or a younger cousin and feel confident that they were going to get good values and morals out of it, I would say it does that. So I'm going to link down below a interview that I found with Leigh Bardugo discussing The Six of Crows. If I can find the article that I had read talking about how this book is, how this duology is so important for rape survivors, I will. This is that type of book for me. It is just well done for experience and themes. I really appreciate it. I really enjoy it, and I hope you guys will give it a chance. Leigh Bardugo, I will read when she comes out with more stuff. I really, really, truly 100% support her as a human, as an author, and I plan to work on getting my hands on anything that she comes out with. She is working on a book about Wonder Woman, which I have requested because I want to talk about the psychology of Wonder Woman. So I'm hoping to be able to get my hands on that for an arc, and if not, I will just wait till it comes out and I'll read it then. But I do plan to continue reading Leigh Bardugo. I hope that someday she'll come out with an adult novel. I can see some really beautiful prose that I can see turning into something really wonderful for adult literary fiction, and I hope she will follow through with that. But until that time, I will continue to support her as a YA author, and I will see you tomorrow.